Hi everybody, it's time to learn about time. To really understand how to tell the time, we're going to first look at the features of clocks. And look, here's my friend Mr. Wolf. Most of you normally say to him, "What's the time, Mr. Wolf?" "Mr. Wolf, what's wrong? Why are you crying?" "You're feeling very sad." "Why is that?" "Because you don't know how to tell the time." "Don't worry, Mr. Wolf, we'll help you." Okay, let's learn a little bit about time. So when we learn about telling the time, there's two different clocks that we can use. This first clock is known as an analog clock. You might have an analog clock hanging on your wall at home, or you might have a watch that has an analog clock on it. Also, we can use digital clocks. A digital clock I have next to my bed. They both look different, but they both tell the time. Okay, let's learn about the analog clock. So, analog clocks are the shape of a circle, and what you will see is numbers on the outside, all the way around, all the way from 1 back up to 12. And those numbers tell us the hours and also minutes. Now let's look at one of our hands. We're going to look at the hour hand. It's the shortest hand on the clock, this little red one here. Now, as I said before, the hour hand is a smaller hand and it points to the hours. It tells us what hour it is. So for example, this little hand here is pointing to the 3. So that tells us that it is the hour of 3 o'clock. Now if I moved it around, it will tell us, here we go, it's pointing to the 7. So the hour is 7 o'clock. Okay, what about now? It's not pointing to the 8 or the 9. What time is it? Well, what hour is it? Well, it's actually 8 o'clock because the hour does not change until it is pointing to the next number. It has to be pointing at the number, right on it, or it has to be just after it. So it still is 8 o'clock. Let's try one more. It's a bit tricky, this hand. You can get a bit stuck. All right, what about now? Well, it's just after the 11 o'clock, but it's not quite on the 12. That means, yep, you're right, it's still the hour of 11 o'clock. Okay, what's this funny looking hand? It's a longer hand, isn't it, than the hour hand? Well, this long hand is known as the minutes hand. So this tells us, this minute hand, how many minutes have passed the hour. It moves around the clock a little bit faster, well, quite a bit faster, than the hour hand. It moves around once every hour. So there are the features of an analog clock. It's generally round, it has numbers around the outside to tell us the minutes and the hours. It has a small hand known as the hour hand and a longer hand which is known as the minutes hand. Here are the digital clocks. Now digital clocks just have the number displayed on the screen, or numbers I should say. So if I was going to put in a time, here's an example. So this number here actually tells me, sorry, I need my pointer. This number here actually tells me the hour. So that's 9 o'clock there. And that's the number that comes before these two dots here. Okay? And the numbers that come after that dots, this 30 here, tells me how many minutes have passed. So this tells me the hour, 9, and this tells me how many minutes, 30 minutes have passed. I'll use this blank one to do another one. So another example of a time. Here we go. I'm going to have to draw the dots in here. So remember what we said before. The numbers that come before the dots tell us what hours it is, and the numbers after tell us how many minutes have passed that hour. Well, keep on ticking with your learning about time. I hope you understand the features of an analog and a digital clock.